Hello, Steel.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh,
We got
Michael.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Did you watch most all of the last one?
I got a little bit of time to him. I was actually partway through writing an essay, so I had the
Uh,
stream on in the background. I was listening to it.
are you in
It's
school
actually
right
pretty
now?
helpful. Uh, Technically no, but I am taking a online summer course. Just trying to get
Oh,
ahead on credits.
are you doing high school or college?
College.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. The summer courses. I don't know if I'd recommend it if you or
Yeah,
don't have that much time, but
I'm enrolling in the fall,
yeah.
so
Well,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. It was actually pretty helpful though, because I felt like I had a lot of similar issues when I play Widowmaker, so I was actually pretty interested in what you had to say.
Yeah, that was mostly for like whatever and stuff. Um, you just basically need to be able to hit any shot.
Yeah, I know. My thing was that I Overwatch is my first FPS game. I decided I wanted to grind mechanics. Played almost exclusively Widowmaker for the longest time. And I got into that same habit where I was had my crosshair placed on the screen. I was kind of looking at it rather than the target, and I would just like
Uh huh.
flick to the target, but I wouldn't actually track. So I've been trying to get better at tracking the target as I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to shoot it.
I should have put more emphasis on. I actually kind of did put a lot of emphasis, so I take that back. But the most important thing is where you look, because that's where you look is the information your brain receives, and if your brain's not receiving the right information that needs to be accurate and build
Right.
consistency, then you're literally wasting practice time. Holy crap! Q process the upload, bro. It's just sitting here.
Oh my.
Uh,
I know it was almost like exclusively muscle memory at that point.
what?
I actually had or like what I was aiming when I first started off
Uh huh.
and pretty much until recently to be honest, but I got it down to a point where like I would specifically line up a character on my screen in a certain way that I could flick to that same spot reliably, and I would reset my aim back and keep flicking in that same direction in order to hit a head.
Yeah.
It was I didn't realize it was bad at the time, but
Uh huh.
I figured out I couldn't hit any other shot. Super inconsistent.
Uh huh. Most like pretty much everything I've learned, like everything I talked about with aiming just then, I taught myself from my time being a console widow. I'm not kidding with that either,
Yeah, no, I mean
because
that's pretty impressive.
on Xbox, right? Like I've watched all of IOStux's like aim secrets videos, and
Uh,
there's some stuff that he didn't even cover, like that I just talked about, right? Um, because he was more focused on like maths behind sensitivity and like aspect ratio and FOV and like
yeah,
the actual mechanics of a PC and like why aiming works. Um, and then he only went a little bit into the mentality of aiming and muscle memory specifically. Gosh,
yeah.
it's not uploading. What did I just paste? Oh, dude, the copier's freaking loud. Q's actually like maybe bugged. Hello.
Doesn't look like it's letting you hit the submit thing for some
Oh
reason.
no, normally it does this, but then it just like
Oh, it does.
it just
Okay.
processes the like renders the whole
Yeah.
thing, and then it
Huh.
works, but it's just taking a long time for like no reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I don't know why.
Is that because it's not a YouTuber at Twitch link?
Oh yeah. You gotta be kidding me, dude. I just assumed it was YouTube. You already had your own.
No, actually, I just straight uploaded it to the site.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just used to pasting YouTube links forehead.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's
here you go. Here's the link. That
right.
was almighty Papega. That was like the Giga Chat of Papegas.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm loaded in correctly at the right time.
Yep. It's at 3 seconds right now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got it.
So, Steelgrass,
Yes.
is your name based after a Pokemon move?
Uh, typing actually, but you have the right idea. My favorite Pokemon was Ferrothorn when it came out in Gen 5 because I played Gen 4. It was like my first version of the games, and I really wanted a Steel Grass type. And they came out in Gen 5, and I was just like, that's my spirit animal right there. uh,
Bro,
it just kind of stuck after that point, really.
Steelgrass Pokemon are basically lawnmowers.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
I mean, I was kind of just making a joke. But anyways, your... What's your SR? Average?
uh, I hover around 3.1, 3.2K.
And did you say that you were flex DPS?
I'm a true flex, actually.
Oh, yeah,
I
just flex, flex, flex.
Right,
See.
straight flex, which only works out because I have so much time on my hands that I feel like I can dedicate it to a stupid amount of heroes. And I've been
Uh-huh.
trying to narrow it down because I found out I'm pretty good at like directing people, telling them what to do. So I felt like main tank was a pretty good role to start to like focus in on a little bit more.
Off tank is also really good for that. Main tank
Right.
mostly just needs to target call because you are getting the first line of sight, right? So the enemy
Yeah.
team, as they're lined up, you can be like, oh, hey, this person's out of target. We're killing them. You tell that to your team. But as
Yeah.
far as the off tank being kind of in the middle, back of the team, basically your team's like this, your off tank's here, they can quite easily observe this information and tell the team as a whole which area to move in. You know, which
Right.
so just letting you know that off tanks can play that as well. Diva saying, "Oh, let's go this way,"
Right. Right.
versus Ryan whenever they get there being like, "Hey, we're gonna kill this person." That's the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody on the team could say, "Hey, let's go this way." It's
That's true. I know
sure for does
yeah.
that.
Specifically on my team, I think the coach is trying to emphasize to have me be the person that kind of makes those kind of decisions.
Uh huh.
He's a more of a fan of like the single person like game plan, kind of tells everyone what to do. Everyone else kind of contributes target calling kind of information.
That's
But I don't think I
good.
do that as
Normally,
much. Yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah.
big thing is just sharing roles. You don't want to like
Right.
overwhelm one person. Um,
Right.
So 3.1k true flex, but you're leaning more towards
Right.
main tank ish.
I've yeah, I started out the game as a DPS player just because I started playing
Uh huh.
Widow, and then I went support and played that for a couple seasons, and now I'm on to main tank. So I've kind of been around the block, so to say.
I see. Okay, so let's begin. Is this in scrim? This is a tournament.
This is an actual match that played against this team.
So this is a tournament, right?
Yes.
So first thing, mistake most friends make. Good job not shielding. Um, mistake your diva made. She was not behind you, right?
Yeah, she played a little far up there.
She went. I mean, well, yeah, she's in front of you, but basically, you just want to body block for the rest of your team. Um,
Yeah.
Big mistake your Brig made, potentially. Let me actually go and look. So you missed your fire strike. You hit 2 people, but you ultimately missed it. When you shield, jump before you shield, because if you jump and then shield, your momentum will carry you forward, right?
Right.
So basically, you just missed out on like a little bit of space that you could have easily had if you had just simply jumped before you shielded.
Yeah.
And then you hold your shield for a little bit more than needed. Like both your off tanks are in front of you, right? Like what are you blocking? Why are you trying to shield? So just more so focus on taking the space than shielding right now. But ultimately, like you pushed out good. Yeah.
I do have a tendency to do this. It's an issue I've noticed.
So just I'm kind of coaching your team right now because you are playing goats, and
Yeah,
it does rely so much on your team feeding into you, right? That it does affect your gameplay. I need to coach you on that as well. Basically, Brig heals for 150. No, 75. I'm slow. Hold up, bro. No. I can't be doing this. I can't be doing this. Oh. I'm gonna break. I'm finding this out. I knew this. I promise you. I knew this 2 weeks ago. Right now, I'm like dying. It's okay. It's 150 healing, 75 armor. That's where I got it confused.
Right.
Okay. So basically, um, it's the armor is additional, right? It's 75 additional, but it does 150 healing. Okay.
Right.
So as Ryan, the first 200 of your health is armor. Okay. In armor, you receive half the damage, right?
Right.
So if you're Brig, you want to let your Ryan lose the first 150, and then you repair that, so he actually has a full, let's say, 200 health means half the damage, so you have 100 health at, right? So your Ryan's 600 HP, okay? Because armor half adds on, right? You with me?
Yes.
So Ryan has 600 HP. If you time your 150 heal back, which is actually not 150, because if you heal at the right time and get all 150 armor, then you're actually healing 225. So then Ryan has 825 health, assuming Brig gets the correct armor pack. Okay? So what your Brig does here is puts the armor on when you're right at like 400, which puts you just at 500. Yeah? So she missed out on a full 50 HP, which actually was 75. So she lost you 75 health. Okay? And you want the armor to go on after the bubble, so that the bubble goes on, Zarya gets charged to do more damage in the early fight, and during that bubble timing, you get healed back up, and the second bubble goes down, then the armor goes on to cap you up again. Right? So basically, they're playing off of you giving a ton of health. So, just for your information as a Reinhardt, to tell your teammates to heal you properly.
Okay, yeah.
Also, if you're not taking notes, I advise you do. Okay, we good?
Okay, yeah.
Continue. You ready?
I'm ready, yep.
So with the Reinhardt, played well. Like you and your team punished him. You took space really well early fight, but then after that, whenever you killed the Rein, You were really sloppy with pushing up.
Yeah.
So immediately after you kill the Rhine, what you want to do is realize that you have a 2,000 HP advantage on the enemy team. Because your shield is full health.
Uh-huh.
Your team has 2,000 more health than the enemy team right now. That means that if you stop and you shield here, their entire team gets no ult charge at all. None. Because they're only allowed to hit your barrier. And your team gets to shoot through your shield and farm them. Right? So, assuming you kill all 5 of them and they don't get a single shot on a teammate because you're blocking all the damage, your team has ults, and the highest ultimate on their team is at like 35, 40. See where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So what you do here with the Reinhardt dead, with the main advantage, you feel like you need to go and kill people and get as many kills as possible. You need to like help clean up the fight, play for time, or whatever. And because of the way they're positioned, and they're kind of kiting back, but then there's some people that get split, you seem kind of confused, and then you're switching between shield and swing, and you're not really hitting anybody, you're not really blocking any damage, right? So it's just kind of... Kai, I'm
Yeah.
going to queue after. If I don't hit diamond, I'll give subs. Okay? See, like, right here. Ooh, you heard a brig to your right, and you immediately dropped from the other 4, the 4 that are doing more damage than the brig, right? The Zarya, the Zen are immediately free to discord you and to begin doing damage to you. So imagine if this Zarya is 80 charge, because she used both bubbles. And now you're discorded. How much ult charge you're about to give her if she's shooting you with her primary? Because you took this one swing on brig. You know what I mean?
So I just need to hold shield more in general.
Mm-hmm. And,
Okay.
well, after fights, whenever you get advantage like this.
Okay.
So then you hit Lucio. So now you're at 278 HP. You're not shielding necessarily the corner. So if you shielded the corner, and then used this corner as the anchor and pivoted your shield from here to here and shielded this choke, right?
Yeah.
And then you walk forward with your shield here, then everybody on their team who's on the opposite side of the shield, they have to just like walk back and you give up space because they don't have that Reinhardt. And then your Zarya can stand behind your shield and push up right behind it for free, and they're not getting any opportunity to farm their ults. Okay?
Okay.
And then you drop again as your entire team's kind of pushing forward to kill people. And all this time, this Zarya, watch her ult charge. Just watch the Zarya's ult charge from the time you get the first break swing. Okay?
Okay.
One swing, instantly 7%. Right? And it's like just up and burst every time you're like not shielding.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of that fight was still fairly quick. You cleaned them up fast. But their Zen got 25% ult, and their Zarya got 20. And they were both right here, where you could have just shielded and they would have had none.
They were both focusing me still.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
so them both getting 25 and 20, which they both have much more valuable ults than you, versus you getting your 30, what's more important?
Preventing them from getting charged.
Right. The only situation where that would have been different is if Zarya was in the corner and your team was like, Zarya, 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 then yeah, 100% kill her as fast as you can because your whole team's focusing her, and then you kill her so fast that she doesn't get that much ult charge. Right?
Okay.
And even then, if you just shielded her completely so she's damaging herself and not getting any ult charge, it's still more valuable than you getting one swing to help kill her. Right?
Okay.
The other thing to think about is if they have like an Ana or Lucio, whenever that brig was behind you, you could shield the Ana's heals and Lucio's LOS. And then all of a sudden that brig can't get healed by her teammates.
Yeah, that's true. I've noticed when the other team plays Ana, I don't shield the shots from her, and my team gets purpled a lot. It's kind of an issue.
You need to catch the nades, mostly Diva. Like,
Yeah.
Diva really should, but if she doesn't, Ryan should be 100% capable to block every single bio nade. So, what you and your team need to do whenever you get to this gate, right?
Uh-huh.
Right here, like this exact frame. What you do, you leave Diva on cart, the rest of you go here and you take position. Okay?
Yeah.
That way you're fighting main, and instead you're not sitting here waiting for the door to open, and the enemy team is like, knock, knock, we're here on the other side pushing you. Right? Because if you,
Right.
Reinhardt, push up to here, then your one Diva on cart gets to push the cart up to here all the way, and if they push you, you just kind of kite back. You have space. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your Lucio's with you, so if they speed boost onto you, you can speed boost out. That's why you don't leave Lucio on cart.
Right.
If they don't push you, then you just get more cart space for free. And then whenever your Diva gets there, now you have a 6v6, except they gave you more space before the fight even started. If you're pushing cart, you're winning the game, right?
Yeah. Right.
So you see where their team is. If you were already out, you could stop them here. If you killed them later, like you killed them very early first fight, if you killed them later, then you could push up and stop them there. And hold that long sight line. Right?
Right. Right.
Ideally, whenever higher level teams, they kite back. Nobody dies until you fight on point, right?
Yeah. Right.
So the second after you capture a point, they leave like the Lucio, the Diva, whatever on cart, and then the rest of the team goes and takes high ground. That way, whenever the enemy team comes low ground, you can drop on them, and they cannot engage on you, so you don't need your Lucio there necessarily to taxi you out. And if they want to take high ground, then it forces them to like force you off first, right? And then
Right.
all that time, only now whenever you drop down is the door opening because your one person pushed your card all that way, right?
Right.
So it's just
Okay.
pushing up, holding space early. As Reinhardt, you push the payload like this. You always want to be holding the next choke as Ryan, so you can push that card for free. You fight here, then you push up to the next choke, and then you're shielding here, and the cart gets pushed all the way up for free. This is really good, especially whenever you have like an Ana, and Ana just plays cart. You get the exact same value. It's still 6v6. Zen and like I can 1 second point would stay on cart because Diva and Lucio get more value, and Zen can play the long range sightlines. But here specifically, you'd much rather have Zen have his orb on you and Discord on the other Rhine whenever you push up and take that space. And then Diva, who's on cart, can just fly out one ability, gets right back into fight.
Right.
Ally Bubble on Ryan, that's your green light to push up a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Shield. You count the swings. 1, 2, fire strike. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 swings, 2 fire strikes before you finally put your shield back up. Right?
Yeah.
I think back to the last fight. Your swings have so much knockback, and you get so much value with each swing, and you had your roll, but like, what you are doing right now in this scrim is you are just brute forcing the crap out of the enemy team. You can swing, they can't even stun you, they can't punish you, they're not able to do anything, right?
Right.
But what would be smarter and allow your team to ultimately roll them harder point to point and choke to choke would be as if you get that value with their bad bubbles, your good bubbles, you swinging on Ryan taking at space, and then you use your shield with your advantage you got to push them back. And if they stay, then your Zarya, who has high charge and behind your shield and good positioning, your Zen, right, who are behind your shield, You win the
Uh-huh.
shield advantage because of the swings you got. Their Ryan has a shield first. You get more damage. Yours already has higher charge. Whatever. And then you push that advantage all without them getting ult charge. Instead of you just going and swinging, being the primary damage dealer in your team, and letting the enemy team farm ults. And then whenever you get to this last fight, even though you have destroyed them in the past two fights, it's a lot closer to an equal fight because you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 ults, and they're gonna have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4-ish, depending on how long the fight goes on, right? Actually,
Right.
we don't know what Diva has, right? So it's you don't have, even though you confidently destroyed them the first two fights, you don't have that advantage that you should because of how you were playing. So, general rule of thumb, whenever you get bubbles, swing twice, shield, and reassist. That's just a general rule of
Yeah.
thumb.
I guess I have more questions on the. Once you get to the reassessment point, do you just wait till the Rhine gets close and then you
So,
swing?
I'll say it this way. Let's, Oasis University, right? There's this choke. And then there's the wall, and then you got the two archways, right? From spawn.
Yeah.
So you have your team, your Reinhardt, you're shielding in this choke. Their Reinhardt will do green. Shielding in this choke. Okay? If you play this corner, the defending Ryan has the advantage. Because you swing right to left. So his first swing is going to reach around the corner whenever yours is going to do this. Right? So the
Right.
defending Reinhardt has advantage most of the time on chokes. So what you do is you bubble, you push forward into him, right? And you get those two swings in. He bubbles, he gets two swings, and then you jump back to this neutral fight. And let's say the rebel is late, and you got one swing in that hit him, and then the bubble went on, and then you stop swinging at two. So let's say this: you get bubble, your first swing hits, and the second one, you hit the bubble. Okay?
Okay.
You got one hit of damage on him. And then he gets bubble and he swings into your bubble, and let's say both of his hammer swings hit your bubble. You have the advantage with that engagement. You won, right? So whenever you reassess, it's like my one hammer that hit him knocked him back this far. So now I can move my shield into the choke like this, and my team can come behind me and take space. My Zen can play here and have angles on the back line. My Zarya can play here and have a good position on the enemy Reinhardt shield, right? And because he hit your bubble twice, your Zarya has more charge than the other Zarya, which means your team has higher DPS. And you've pushed them back and won the choke, right? So that's what we want
Right.
to look for and like reassess. Is like, do I have space? Do I have health? Do I have barrier? Do I have shield? What does the other Ryan have? Did they use bubble? Did they use armor pack? Right?
Right.
During that reassess is also the time where your Lucio can get a boop on the other Rhine, and then you're like, oh, he already used bubble, and now he's out of position. And then your Brig goes forward and stuns him, and you're like, oh, yeah. Like, now we have Discord on him because they don't bubble, and I can swing for free. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I definitely play a very heavy swing style of Reinhardt.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I am shielding as much as I
So
should.
if, that exact same fight happened and you played more swing heavy, you get those two swings and your bubble goes away. He swings twice, both swings hit your bubble, but now your bubble's gone. You keep swinging, you're immediately stunned, discorded, maybe antied if they have an Ana, maybe slept if their Ana is just like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Now you're free to get booped as well, and you're already pressing W swinging, so that boop's going to send you straight into their backline. See where I'm going?
Yeah.
You want to take space with your bubble in your swings and then hold it.
Okay.
You never hold
Just
it. You just
kinda-
keep going,
Yeah.
which basically gives them the opportunity to do this to you.
Yeah. Right.
Bumper, basically you're doing bumper, but even bumper is more like this. Swing, 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 shield for like 1 second, and then swing, 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 and then shield, right? and he's not
Right.
giving them the time to fully reset before he pushes back forward and takes that space. But you're not giving him any time, which basically means you're saying whoever dies first wins or loses. I mean, right?
Uh-huh.
That's how you're playing. And unfortunately for you, their team doesn't have the coordination to actually just say, "Hey, Ryan's swinging like a madman. He's Discord. Let's just kill him."
Okay.
But a better team would stun you and you'd be dead in one frame. But yeah, with goats dying pretty much because of DPS comps and 2-2-2, the same rule applies. You want to take space and hold it, because if you just keep swinging, you're just going to get focused down. Your team only has so many resources. And swinging like you did is important. You want to stay at 400 HP on Ryan, and you want to keep your barrier at like 1500.
Okay.
You know? If
Yeah, that's pretty helpful.
if you keep both of those numbers, that means you are destroying the enemy team. They're not doing enough damage to you to get you below your armor, and they're not doing enough damage to your shield, which means you are swinging to get you below 1000. Right?
Right.
But your barrier is constantly at 2000, which means you just never shield. So who knows how much ult charge are actually farming off of you. Fortunately for you, they all switched off goats. I don't know why, but okay. You do know how to fire strike cancel, props to you. A lot of Ryans don't know that. And you have been using it correctly as well. Swinging fire strike cancel into burst DPS. You generally want to save that though for ensuring the kill, right? So if the other Ryan is like that much HP, that's the only time when you really use it. Because if he has that much HP, like just as much, expect him to actually have this much because of armor pack and bubble. So you need to use your fire strike to kill all of that at once.
All right.
So, yeah, you can get away with just using it on cooldown and have more overall DPS, but it's much easier to just swing shield until you get to the point where you can actually finish him off with the swing fire strike swing, like cancel combo, right?
Right.
Monka shake. Okay, that shatter. So let's say you didn't have shatter. Are you gonna win the fight? Are you gonna win the fight? If you don't have shatter, are you gonna win the fight?
Yeah, we're up 2 picks to their 1 right now, so we're winning pretty handily.
So I try to solo shatter at Mercy and Genji whenever your team is running goats.
I guess I just saw they were both coming out and decided to.
So gimme. Like you got excited.
Right.
So just like shatter in general is more dangerous if you have it than if you use it.
Right.
Because if you're the other Ryan, you're like, oh crap, he still hasn't used shatter. It's been 5 fights now. Like I'm scared to take my 2 swings because what if my whole team gets shattered, right?
Right.
And so if you can win the fight without using shatter, I mean, shatter's not an ability you want to hold on to, but like if you win the fight without shatter, then that's the next fight that they have to play semi-safe and like cautious because you have shatter. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to click. But the second you win the fight, you want to push forward and hold a door. Just so that they don't keep coming out to contest because you're just standing on the cart whenever you have like 5 there. And then now look, they're coming back to contest. Monka shake. So imagine if you were actually in that room holding it. And you want to be one, Brig wants to be the other. And then like, oh, now you have Pin and Bash on both sides. Like, what is the Hammond going to do?
Yeah, if I stand at the door, I think the Hammond wouldn't be able to touch in time.
Yeah, you couldn't get a body block.
What I could have been doing. Yeah.
And now you're doing the same thing again. Think about it this way: if you went, Hammond came this way to contest, right?
Right.
If you said, "Oh crap, Hammond's contesting," and then you went to the right door, let your team take a 5v1 against Hammond on cart. and then you shut out the 1v5 on the other side because you can shield and body block them. That's a big brain like carry play from Reinhardt. Instead,
No.
instead you do your minimum DPS like 75 a swing, right, on this Hammond.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, I'm just gonna hold this, swing into the right, shield, pin, whatever, and just hold this position while my team takes the 5v1 against the Hammond. So now you've done 150 damage to a Hammond, and now the soldier's coming back now. Brig went and did your job, by the way. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
That applies for literally every map and every team fight situation. If you solo block the Ana and block her heals and let your team take a 5v5, but the enemy team doesn't have healing, right? You're trading
Yeah,
one
we
for
have a-
one, blocking up the Ana. Now your team has a
Yeah.
5v5. Does your team have the advantage in 5v5 if they don't have their Ana, their main healer?
Yeah, I have a pretty big advantage.
So that's a very situational example, though. Blocking out the Ana, that's not always the best thing.
Yeah.
Because like, what if they have a Ryan and a Zarya? Now your Zarya is getting destroyed. So
Right.
well, just very situational, but it's conceptual of the value you can get by making those plays. So yes, they do have an extremely DPS heavy comp. There's a lot of pressure on your shield. Don't push up like this, because what are you gonna do? Now they can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and have a firing range on your shield. What you want to do is play this corner, that way you're swinging to the right. Ryan, always play corners. Always.
Okay.
Okay? Corners are your friend. Because if you stayed right here, you can free camera, look around. You can take one step and a mouse movement and go from holding this choke to holding this choke. Big difference. But whenever you position here and shield this way, then also you have to do a big movement and take a step back. And while you're making this movement, that opens up this window where their team can shoot for free on you. Their soldier has all of this line of sight where you're making that rotation to deal damage. And that's why you have the health that you do. Right?
Uh-huh.
What? Actually, like, if you were holding corner, your Zarya wouldn't have died. Imagine if you stayed holding this corner, right? Right here. Watch. You could have helped her. Instead, you focus more on making this position than this position. You want to be close to cover. Like, if you're Orisa, you shield here. That way when your shield breaks, you take one step behind cover. Right? With Ryan, the same thing. If your shield is taking a lot of damage, and you want to get back behind cover so you're not receiving that much damage and breaking your shield, you're going to receive at least 500 more before you can get back behind the wall because you're pushed out so far. So always play corners. If you're playing that corner, now they wouldn't be able to push up around that corner for free. So you kited back too far when you did kite. You should stay on that corner.
At this point, we were trying to get back to our spot because we thought they'd just be able to roll over us. So we kind of called like a get out situation.
Well, I mean, you were down your Zarya, but Ryan, Diva, Zen, Brig, Lucio against 4 DPS Hammond, you should be fine. Playing King's Row, whenever the actual fight has to be that big, you can block out 90% of the FOV. And if you play this corner, shield there. Now, if they're DPS, they have to want to push past your shield or go around it. And then you have like Brig, Lucio, Diva here. Diva contests one. If you get booped, then Brig stuns the Hammond. Right? Like, you can hold that corner so well. With goats, specifically. Right?
Yeah.
And that's always where you want your focus to be as Reinhardt with your positioning.
Okay.
Watch Mono play. Mono is the best tank at playing corners. Super loves corners as well. Super gravitates towards corners. Super will always play here. And then push forward and play the corner. And then push back. That's how Super and Mono both are incredibly good. Mono's more chokes, Super's more corners, I think, the back. But they're kind of the same thing, so I don't know.
Okay.
So a decent little lack of awareness from you. Walking out of spawn. Your diva fed super hard. Can we get enough in the chat for Hammond?
In that situation, I probably don't try to help destroy the tire. I think that was a little silly.
With your shield, yeah, I mean, yeah, because you have 4 or 3 DPS that are just shooting your team for free because you're shielding.
Yeah.
And the big thing with your fire strike, like what is it? I have a clip on Anubis second point attack when we were just outside the choke and you hear fire in the hole, so it could literally come from anywhere, right? With the high ground that Junk can be on.
Yeah.
And we all started kiting back, and I just threw a fire strike, like up in the middle of the air, and the tire came behind a wall, it climbed up the wall, and then jumped off the wall and hit my fire strike. And I was like, ah, right. But basically, what you did, a tournament, never go for it because like it's so unlikely to happen. You're way more likely to just actually wait to see the fire strike and aim and try to hit it. And then if you don't hit it, try to block half the damage with your shield. Right? Because if, same thing with Doomfistle. You know how Doomfistle works?
Yeah.
So, like, if the tire's perfectly in between your shield, it can only go, like, one way or the other. So you at least block half of it. You know? If the tire's, like, running for you, just shield and, like, keep turning, try to block it from yourself. But even if it does hit you, it won't hit the people on the other side of your shield.
Right.
If Hammond ults, you should shield, because that way you won't take damage when you land, and then it creates a pocket of area where then you're safe to swing on the mines.
Okay.
Because if you hold your shield, it won't take away from your health, and it will just take away from your shield.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So like right here, if you landed, you'd still be at 468. And then, I mean, your thing would get destroyed. But then also your hitbox for your shield is much larger, so it could have potentially destroyed the mines that killed your Break and Lucio. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you absolutely need to save your shield for whatever reason, you should use your shield and your Hammond ults to clear out the mines as you land, and then use your hammer to destroy them.
Okay.
Don't like use your whole shield just running through the mines, but whenever you land, you want to clear out that pocket of space below you.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little embarrassing.
What?
Hammond comes in. He has that spot on the castle where he can just boot people off the bridge.
Oh, is he about to do that?
Expect him there. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what happens here.
I mean, hey, man, like, it happens. Like, that's the whole point of, like, outplay and stuff. Like, he can only do that once a game, and nobody would expect it. That's a good play from him, but it just happens. It's mostly the fault of your Lucio and Diva for not seeing them, not you. Because you have to focus on the front. They should be watching your sides.
Back and ready for more. Come out and face me.
Here I actually say we should try to go under just
That's
in case the Hammond tries to do that.
So, good decision, not the right thinking. The thinking shouldn't be go under to avoid the Hammond. The decision should be go under so that you can rotate freely without having long range damage from the Junk, Hanzo, and Soldier destroying your shield before you get to the fight.
Right.
That should be your thinking.
was a little worried when we got here because they can just spam into the choke here.
Yeah, the longer you wait, the worse. Because
Right.
if D.Va taps DM, now she has less when you actually push. So it needs to be, that's what you need to do as Ryan. Right here. 3, 2, 1, amp speed, go, DM as you come out of the choke, and then you make a rotation. And then whenever you do that, they all have to go back in the castle, and now you can wait here for your DM and speed boost to come back up, then we 3, 2, 1, and then go again.
Right. It's just something we need to work on as a team, specifically.
And that rally is way early. And look at how many people turned around for who knows what. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Sombra,
5.
I think, yeah.
Dude, Malika Shake, it should literally just be Lucio D.Va. Maybe, Brittany.
Yeah. I know I have a bad habit of just turning around too, and I should probably just keep shielding so they don't
Yep.
get damage in.
You just have to take a conscious effort of that.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Something I have to work on.
And right there, just pause it for the exact frame. Your whole team's going like this, right?
Right, and I'm not shielding.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and then you, right?
Right.
You could shield all of that.
Right.
And that's how that mine should have booped people out or clustered your entire team. Instead, you guys have a hammer. Your D.Va peeled for you. You guys just took that space so sloppily. They finally did push out, but
Right.
they were a little bit better. They had 2 in here. They had like 1 or 2 here. They have Hammond back here, right? And so if you guys were here, it'd be very easy for them to just pinch you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
instead, they all just like go around you and then try to regroup.
Yeah, they just head out.
And that's like literally quick play mechanics, what they were doing.
Yeah.
Shield cancels hack.
Yeah.
So, you know, I used to be a Rhine player, right? And whenever Sombra had like her 0.3 second hack time, yeah?
Yeah, I remember.
What I would do if I knew Sombra should be in position is I would hold my shield and I would just like hold W, walk forward, whatever. But I would be like almost eyes closed, not looking at my screen at all. But I would just be focused on my ears. And the second I'd hear a hack, it would be a 180 flick, and I would scream to my team, "Go, go, 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 go!" You know, like the second you cancel the hack, you just go. You know, and it's like that. Obviously, now you don't have to listen and focus that hard on canceling the hack, but you can. It should be just be reactive. You have plenty of time to react and put your shield up and block the hack. And then she can't hack for another 4 seconds now, which it used to be no hack delay, and it was a lot worse.
Right.
You could have saved yourself a break. So this is actually a really good VOD because most teams, especially the past year, who have been developed players who have gotten the game and learned playing goats, have no idea how to play the game unless they're playing against goats. So this VOD's a good example. Your comp should absolutely obliterate theirs. They should get rolled. And this is where a lot of players and teams get tilted and quit. Is they're like, oh, against goats, we can beat a 3.7k goats team. But if we play against a bronze 40 BS team, we lose. Yeah. And this is because they don't know how to play any other play styles. You don't know how to identify win conditions and like adapt. Yeah. So the big thing is, problem so far with your team is grouping up and going. 3, 2, 1, amp speed, use shield, use DM, use your bubbles to get charge, not to take space. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's no reason why you should be looking here. You should be using free can to make sure you're shielding your teammates.
Yeah, I actually just learned you could do the free cam thing a couple weeks ago, so I'm definitely not used to using that as much.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the situation where you need to use it. Like if there's a Widow, you need to make sure
Uh-huh.
Widow doesn't get a single pixel where she can shoot a teammate. And the only way you can do that is using free cam.
Right.
Because you seeing where the Widow is doesn't do anything for you. See, before you peeked right there, you should have been here. 1, 2, 3, go.
Right. Yeah. I think sometimes I get a little impatient too, to try to get the whole team behind me.
And you know why you're impatient? Because you're the swing, Ryan.
Right.
That's
right.
who you are. That's who I was. I was the swing and pin Ryan. I wanted to use my incredible fire strike cancel, turning my body so I can get that maximum knockback and
Right.
like swing, turn around, and then swing the earliest of the swing animation cancel with the fire strike, and then manipulate my hitbox so that Ryan doesn't hit me, and use my shield to block damage. You know, whatever.
A whole
And
that,
you're so
yeah.
confident in your ability to do damage that you forget about actually playing the game.
Right.
And that's why you died. Because 500 HP, drop shield 74 HP. Where's your diva? Why weren't you coordinated with her? Yeah?
I just went in a little before everyone else was quite up
But
to where I was.
you get what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
that's your fault for not being coordinated with your diva when you dropped your shield.
Right.
Because it's your job to count it down. You're the one leading the charge.
I think I actually switch Winston now. Yeah.
And that's fine, but like, it doesn't change the fact that you should have easily beat them.
No. Yeah. Definitely.
In tournament, yeah, like after 3 fights of throwing, you have to switch.
That was basically what that was. 3 fights of throwing.
And if this was second point, Winston would be better because you can contest high ground and zone out that space by yourself. And then second point, if you're Ryan, they have all these positions that they can take to shoot around your shield and over your shield. Where basically you get no value on Ryan, so it's good to switch. But third point, King's Row, whenever like the entire map is already structured like this, you can shield and block out 90% of their damage.
Yeah.
So you have to switch to Winston to get them back to third point. That's the problem you're having. And that's a big just gameplay problem overall. And the fact that you lost the past 3 to 4 team fights on Ryan, just like now you know how to play against it and you can tell your team, right?
Right.
You can even take this VOD after it's uploaded and just show your team lol.
Yeah, that might actually be useful. I thought about that.
Just assign it to them as homework. What are you doing?
I don't remember exactly in that instant.
If Junkrat rip tires, you should go find him.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're just sitting there waiting for someone on your team to die so you can reset.
Right.
But if you go and find him, then you traded. And now you're in a really good position to continue pushing.
Yeah, so I think that's what happened here.
I was instant trans. Attaboy. Lucio drive does somehow. Good find.
Survival of the fittest.
Your bubble is a little bit late.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. So with Monkey, you know about the melee cancel when you land?
Yeah. You can hit melee button right as you land in it, kind of.
And then let me
That's
also look at your
first.
jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all you could have done with your jump. Good focus though. So right here, just a little bit of mental. So look, you get booped, right? So now there's you in your head. You should know that there's space because you got booped, right?
Right.
And you see these shots. You recognize if someone is here, or the soldier who's there has free line of sight. They're not being contested. So what
Right.
should you do with your jump, your bubble, your primal, your 500 HP whenever your teammates are in this situation where they're getting shot at, right?
I should go contest them.
Yeah. Instead, you're focused on the Hammond.
Yeah, I'm a little slow to do it.
What you could have even done is just drop your bubble to block his line of sight and then focus the Hammond. Same thing you kind of do with Ryan. And it just seems like you probably need a little bit less experience than what's in the Ryan, but you want to use your bubble. You need to learn the spacing of it so you can use your bubble to split them.
Yeah.
So basically, if soldier's here, you split him, your Tesla cannon reaches, and then you step out of the bubble this way whenever he comes forward to contest you, and now you're reaching him this way, and there's always a shield between you two.
I think that was honestly more of a panic bubble. It just, was low health and thought I'd just press bubble. So.
But, like, worst case scenario, if someone comes out of spawn right here, let's say an Ana, now she has this bubble here, so.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right, Milio. But he had his jump off cooldown whenever he panic primaled. With juggling in corner, use your jump and then hold your S key so that whenever you jump, you literally go from like here to here. And then you get the land damage, the extra damage when you land. So basically you would have killed him like one hit sooner.
Okay.
Bubble before you jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it'll block
that corner.
Door again.
Yep.
Right. Just kind of throw it
You
on
kind of
point.
did, but like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, there's a better position for that.
Good job, atta boy! I was just about to say, I was like, I'm gonna watch and see what he does first. That's a good bubble. See, yeah, that's good thinking.
Yeah, sometimes just a little slow to get there.
And that's just experience. That's pretty good, though. Oh, overall, that was like pretty good. Right?
Right, yeah. So no, actually, I played.
Wait, you're attacking again?
Yeah, so I played DPS.
Oh, you started the VOD in overtime.
Right, so what happened was the enemy team had a really quick cap. We kind of got rolled on offense because they ran DPS again. And I was playing DPS and was doing okay, but this is just the Reinhardt parts of this match.
I see.
Yeah.
So that bubble went on you super early. Actually, let me see how you approach, because you're already low HP. Why did bubble have to go on you early? Not have to, but why did Zarya think it had to? So, one thing I always tell like D.Va and Run is the second you first turn the corner, right?
Yeah.
This is whenever the first Zen volley, the first fire strike, the first Zarya alt fire, the first Torb and Icicle are all going to be coordinated and hit you at the same time, right? And they auto predict sleep dart, whatever. So you always want to block the first like 1 second that you turn a corner to block that first burst damage. Same thing with D.Va. Whenever you exit a choke, you tap DM. Just literally just tap it just to eat all that initial spam. So you tapped it, but like
not a full shield or anything.
It's more so like you tapped it whenever you're behind Zarya, and then you dropped it whenever you're front lining, and Icicle hits you, and then you go for a fire strike. So whatever. Armor went on you early again. You're at 100. You could have just used your shield and gotten healed up, and then you swung early. So this is important example of. God, what is the VOD glitching for you?
I think it's okay.
It's tripping for me. Holy crap! It's like pausing and stuff.
That's weird.
Okay, so already got 752. At the bottom, 752.
Yes.
Okay.
750. Yes.
So you get this fire strike. You see the space you have, right? Right here. I'll just draw it in the wall. Right here, Ryan's here, you're here. Okay?
Okay.
This is like the distance you want to have, because you're just outside of swinging range. So if they want to take a swing on you, they have to take a step forward, which gives you time to react.
Okay.
your Zarya time to react to bubble you. Right? The problem is
Right.
you reach this distance and you immediately go into a swing, which forces Zarya's bubble on you here, which means you miss that first swing.
Yeah.
So, just so you can see it again. Right here, shield. And then you swung first, and then you shield, which means you were shielding the time that you were bubbled.
Right. It's not very efficient.
Did your thing get picked off in the... What, yeah, okay, never mind. That wasn't your fault. Like, why was he there? Shield to Zarya. Oh, nothing you could have done. See, now you're shielding, and you're holding the space, but you're not pushing forward. Right? See,
Yeah.
see this distance?
Yeah.
He was giving you up to here.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So you're shielding. Why aren't you at least walking forward? And taking the space he's giving you for free. You only ever push forward when you swing, which is a huge disadvantage.
No, that's doing the full charge.
And then whenever you shield, you go straight back
Right.
instead of holding the space that you have.
Okay.
Not losing it, hold it.
Right. Holding.
Because of this, you have to lose it. But you get what I'm saying. The reason why you have this is because you were previously shielding backwards and then swinging back to retake the space that you gave up. So basically, you lost this whenever you pushed in bad the first fight.
Yeah. We actually go ball here and we cap the point. We keep going. It's pretty.
Well, because you killed Ana Zen somehow.
Right. Yeah. Get a little bit lucky.
I'm interested to see how good your ball is.
It's probably my worst out of any of the tanks. I completely missed my grapple there.
Well,
Yeah.
you didn't miss it, but you went for it here when you should have just waited and used it on the tower. It's similar to like what's the example? Like when do you use your Rhine pin? Do you like let's pretend this is spawn. You spawn here, there's a wall here, and then there's a huge walkway here. Do you pin from here to here, or do you just wait and then pin from here to here? You know, it's the same thing with ball.
Yeah.
You could get this tiny grapple, or you could wait 1 second, get this really good one that'll let you slam on the board.
Right. Right.
I'm like, yeah, but here, right?
Yeah.
And then
right.
now you
I could have
can't
swung
use
all the way to point.
Look,
Yeah.
that should
I
have
see
lost
that.
you the game.
I know.
That one grapple.
Luckily, the May wall wasn't completely there.
And then whenever you first do get to a point like this, use your first grapple to go around just once. Okay?
Yeah.
Big misconception with Hammond whenever you do a circle like that. The thing is, you do one circle, right? They didn't expect it boops them all back. Your second circle, now they do expect it. Why are you doing it? Because you've already booped them back, which means your second circle, you're not going to hit them.
Yeah.
So, and then the second circle, they're just going to feed. So you do that first time to break up their positioning, right? And then you can come out of ball here, and like, let's say Ryan shields here, and there's a May there. Oh, you shoot her, she runs back, and then you swing around again. Yeah.
Yeah. I have the right idea here, but kind of missed it again on the
See,
payload.
look, I see this. I see grapple here, swing there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard to do, man. It's hard to mess up that bad.
I know, it's really slow. I don't know if there's any good tips for landing the grapple, but
I mean, lol. So, just another thing, so you're aware, if you're in ball form for, I believe, 5 seconds, then it automatically reloads for you.
right.
So, like, going into ball and coming out, like, at 4 seconds whenever you need to reload is just, like, Papego. Go to high ground. I don't know what you did to stall And what you start out with, this Zen needs to be on Ana, so that you have a little bit of self-survivability, because you don't have a shield or anything. And like even after you kept that first point, you should have just gone and switched if you're gonna stay on that comp, because he didn't have any ult charge. And now he's a liability to your team because he's very easy to get picked off.
Enemy turret ahead.
Go for the Zen. Go for the Zen. Do it. Do it.
I know. I didn't do it. I would go for this Ryan.
Why? Okay. Don't panic shield because it's literally like a 15-second cooldown.
Yeah.
What you should have done. You do this just so he doesn't get back to this team as fast. You're not gonna kill him. Their entire team is right there. You're just gonna feed. So a second after you slam, just stay in ball form, like hook here, and just get out. Go back to high ground.
Yeah. I think I was trying to see if I could boop him off somehow, but I don't think I really can do that from that position.
And then your timing was a little bit late with your release, which sent you up in the air a little bit, which
Yeah.
makes you, I think, lose momentum whenever you land. I believe. The best thing you can do here is they're all pushing forward to capitalize off the grab. Go to the left door, and then grapple like here or something, and then break them so it's peeling for your team with CC.
Okay.
Instead of, like, you're not gonna do anything with your damage. You know, like if whenever they're pushing forward like that, what if you split the torb and he missed all of this? Because you hit him.
Yeah.
I have a clip of a Zen of mine, and a Doomfist was literally like this, and I came out as ball and I hit the Doomfist midair and saved my Zen. The Zen was like 1 HP. It was in a 4.2k scrim too. It was pretty nice.
Wow.
It was 100% accidental, but.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, my friend.
I know we're over the time, but we're just going to continue because why not? That's a situation where it's okay to be more swingy because he had Discord on because he had no armor. But right here, whenever there's a full HP Zarya in your face and you don't have your armor, nah. You threw by dropping the shield. She has 4%. Gets charge. Ryan's low. Worth it. She should have been focusing you. There's Zarya never focused you, like the whole game.
Yeah.
But then right here, she went from 15 to 17 just in the time that I paused it and you dropped your shield. Okay? Watch. Okay, she's not connecting. But like, that was less than 1 second. She got, what, 6%? So imagine if you would have taken 2 swings.
A lot.
Or if she was, right now, 31% just because of your 2 swings on somebody else, the Mei, because you didn't have your shield up. Instead of letting your like, team do it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have swung on the Mei, I'm just giving you an example of
Right,
sorry
yeah.
thing.
I get that. Yeah.
The second you don't have to help kill, just shut out the Zarya. Shut her out, block the heals.
Enemy turret.
If you're gonna do the shatter, don't do it here because you have to time the delay of the shatter with them crossing through this narrow choke. Instead, crouch as you hear them pushing up and rotate behind them. So you get this.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good play and it'd be huge if it works. But in this situation, you don't have the Zarya, but in this specific spot, it would be better if you hugged this wall and kind of turned a little bit that way so your hammer's like sitting here and not here, right? And then just got a bubble from Zarya and pin somebody like that with your team not positioned here, choke and positioned here instead. That's more of a set play. So, that's the only reason we should ever be here is Ryan, basically. See, you would have had to predict it with him walking past.
Yeah.
See, now your team, you've waited way too long. You're throwing.
Come on.
Shatter's like barely worth it. You did kill 2 on your own. That was worth.
No one can hide from my sight.
But imagine if their Ryan like counterpinned you, or you got Brig stunned or whatever.
That was
yeah,
super risky.
Monka shake, and that's just because you went for the Shatter here, right?
Yeah.
Another thing you can do, which my favorite thing to do in comp, whenever I play Ryan, is go up here, listen, and then just drop down and pin straight back.
Okay, I see.
Or you
like
could do
that
the
idea.
same, but make sure whenever you're falling, you wait till you hit the ground before you shatter, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's a hammer.
And then they can just block it or
Yeah.
do something. Yeah. Right.
And then also in that room, of course, on that high ground behind where the Widow goes.
Uh-huh.
Both of those spots would be better than where you went. All 3, like 1, 2, and 3. Now you just got greedy. You were chasing after them at range. Of course, you're gonna get slapped.
Yeah.
Hello.
What was this rally? You need to tell your Brig to use rally like trans. More like Valk, I guess. Use it
Okay.
as soon as the fight starts to keep everybody alive and sustained through the fight. Or
Uh-huh.
like, you use rally like this. You take the first swing, you get bubble, throws armor pack rally. Now all of a sudden you're getting healed after the armor and bubble whenever their Ryan's not, and you have an advantage that way. And this is a situation where the healing over time isn't burst, which means you can't immediately go hog wild swinging at a Ryan because it's over time advantage, which would be you can very aggressively jump shield, jump shield, jump shield.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this rally is already over. Your team's already low HP, not getting healed. And the only person it benefits is Zen.
Uh-huh.
You need to be angling your shield down, because if you angle your shield down, it still won't touch the ground, but it'll block a lot of like an angle that Torb has to get his molten core.
Oh, okay.
That shatter shouldn't have worked. Okay. It was nice though. The reason why it shouldn't have worked is their Rhine is literally like, you are swinging, you're playing stupid aggressive. They have such an advantage because of the molten core and stuff. And so he should just like hold his shield so his team gets healed and they can push with their advantage on you. But him dropping shield here while his Zarya is discorded is like free for your Zen to poke and whatever. And then it sucked the Zarya like a madman.
Enemy turret's not gonna bother us anymore. Hello there. Hello. Salut. Hello there.
One thing I suggest for you is press tab and watch their respawn,
Uh-huh.
and then like know the timing for whenever they walk back, right? So they just switched to Brig, which means they just walk in on spawn. It's 4 seconds before they leave like the spawn door, and then it's probably like at least another 7 to 8 before they get up here, right? So like in general, 3, 2, 1, attack the objective. Wait like 7 seconds before you do your fire strike. Fire at count to 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, and then you're peeking the corner.
Yeah. I'm pretty good when it's the game's just started, but
Right, but
this is a
respawn's
little
the exact same thing. That's where you hold tab to
Okay.
kind of wait.
okay. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So like,
Uh-huh.
just every little advantage helps a lot.
Right.
I was gonna say, you You pinned late.
Yeah, I was a little late.
So right there, you got a pin, a kill, on a support, which means the longer the fight goes on, the lower their health will be.
Uh-huh.
And then you just got like a 5-minute fire strike. You should drop and shield this corner.
Uh-huh.
Because the longer the fight goes on, the more advantage you have because you've already
Okay.
won the fight.
They have to back out then at that point.
Or if they don't back out, you kill them. And if they do back out, you play more aggressive and then you kill them late, which
Right. Okay.
forces the last fight.
Okay, that makes a lot
But
of
I
sense.
guarantee you'll land and go swing on them.
Yeah.
Probably invest shatter too.
Nah, I save it.
Okay,
I almost
but
die here.
you should have you should have shielded first like 2 seconds,
Right.
and then they wouldn't have backed out as fast.
Yeah, you're right.
And then whenever they feel like they might be safe, and then have realize, oh, we're down our Zen, we should probably just wait. We have one fight, and they start slowly back out. Then you amp speed and go.
Right.
Then you get more ult charge because they're back healed up. You kill them later, which means they have one fight left. You know,
Yeah, I see yours.
and you don't end up feeding them 700 HP as Reinhardt outside
Right.
the spawn door.
That was a lot of feed.
Right here, carry the game. Go, do it.
I should have.
Don't actually do that unless it's a very, very specific situation.
Yeah.
That one's just so stupid. Don't do it.
I usually try not to do more than one.
In general, if you're going to go for one,
Yeah.
do it here. Or, that's it. If you ever do it there. Because you're
Okay.
already in the ground, it doesn't require movement, and you can pin straight back to your team.
Yeah, that's true.
These two are better because you can pin back to your team. Like after you drop, you can pin back. But
Right.
it does require you to drop first, which gives them time to realize, and then in the time that you're charging back, they can focus you down.
No one can hide from my sight.
Oh, these rallies.
Yeah.
Your whole team's just sitting at full HP. It's not doing anything. Very, 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 very bad shatter. So,
Yeah.
if you're going to shatter like this, first of all, they swap to Monkey. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess you don't have Zarya, so that's why. But basically, assuming you were running full goats, right? You want to stop them from making this rotation.
Right.
That's your goal. So whenever they're rotating, you push forward with bubble and you split them here. You swing, which knocks all these people back that way. Then your second swing knocks these people back that way. See where I'm going?
Okay, I see that.
And then
Yeah.
your team can just you shield here, and then they focus those people.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if this was an Ana who's in the back rotating. Now there's Ryan, 3 people there. You kill those 2 people, you have ult charge advantage, and then you kill these 3 people. So you take 2 different 6v3 fights. Technically 5v3 because you're shielding. But that's what you want to be doing if you're playing goats here, splitting them.
Right. Okay.
And I have to apply everything to not goats because it's not goats anymore. But as Ryan, in general, this choke forever, you stop this rotation because then it forces them to play straight into you.
Yeah.
So because they make this rotation and you don't get any value with like spreading them their shield full health or whatever, they have used speed boost, which means that because they don't have Zarya, they have no damage, right? Or they do have Zarya. They
They
swap
do
the
have
diva.
Zarya.
They swap the diva. So they have less damage mitigation, which means still that the more distance you have, the more fire strikes you cycle through, the more Zen volleys, whatever you use, the more
Yeah.
damage you'll receive, the more ult charge your team gets, whatever, right? So
Right.
taking this fight so aggressively whenever it's technically last fight, and you're at 0-0-0, that's throwing, by the way. Right, 40 seconds left, and you're 3 people sitting on 0 when the fight hasn't even started yet. What did you use the ults for? Like,
Yeah.
what did you do? I was about to say, if you're ever in grab like that, the main thing you want to be doing is blocking Briggs so she can't stun you. Assuming they have like Diva Bomb or whatever.
Right.
Don't pin like that when you're on such low HP. You just need to back up, shield and reset, and block their damage. Get your team regrouped.
All systems
Okay. So, pretty much, we're good. The rest of the model will just be the same stuff, right?
Yeah, there's one last fight here that actually I wouldn't mind if you looked at. 'Cause
Where?
there's a lot that goes on. So this overtime push.
Right here?
Yeah, right before that actually, because I start the fight off the shatter. So we push up.
So, like I was saying, the
pretty
first
close to
fight, whenever you
capping.
pushed up without shield, right here, you're just kind of walking forward the shield. And they are not spamming you, but they could have been. See, right here. That Shatter's okay. Trading Shatter for Trans is worth. Knocking out the Zarya is good, right? The big thing you want to understand in this situation is you forced out Trans. They have the advantage. Yeah, you shattered Zarya, but it doesn't matter. You can't kill anybody. They're transing. So you just need to back up and give up space on the cart. You have this much space to work with, so you need to just back up instead of dying here. You got a girthy swing though. So now, look at Zen's orbs. You're not shielding here. So he's hitting somebody on your team, your diva. Your diva's fading a ton because she's not playing behind you in your shield. We realized that since fight 1. So Ryan's out of position. If you jumped here, swung here, told your team to focus him, shield bashed him here, you get a pick and you win this fight. So this is where I normally wouldn't go into this much detail with like a lower rank Ryan, but like look at your position when you swing. You're in front of him. If you were here though, which is like half a second rotation, that you do anticipation of him pushing up, right? You see him pushing forward, you realize he's making a mistake, you rotate here, you swing here, right?
Yeah. I think I was a little worried at that point because I knew he was pretty close to Shatter, so I wanted to be able to block the team, so I wasn't playing as aggressively.
But if you rotated there, your shield still blocks the team. Just doesn't do it that way.
Yeah.
Which, if you're shielding this way and he's coming this way, you have to turn to block him anyways.
Right. That's true.
See, right there's where you really needed the shield.
I have
right
a
here,
lot of
you got beat. You swing. Look at your health, like it's gone. Right here, you need the shield. Even though you have beat, that beat is a cushion allowing you to get healed by mostly Briggs passive. Okay.
Okay.
So right here, you need the shield. What you can do is push forward and shield in front of that Rhine. Right here. He's out of swing range. Zarya's farming you. Shield. You see what I mean? You're at 56 HP. You could have easily gotten a cancel out of that shatter, and all of a sudden they can win the fight.
Right. It was more risky than it needed to be.
You were the only person on your team who died. I wonder why.
No wonder.
Oh, your Zarya's insane. Holy crap.
I know, she carried this last fight.
Just look at the amount of kills she had. Right here.
I know.
Watch her, dude. 1, 2. And she comes up, melts Diva. Holy crap. Dude, just like back-to-back alt fires point blank on max charge Zarya. Canceling remake and then canceling beat, that's nuts.
It was huge.
Like, even if they got the remake and beat, you'd still win that. because she had Grav, but like, dude,
Right.
that's just stupid. Like, imagine if that was mid-fight and she did that.
I think she started out with like 26 ult charge and had grab in like 10 seconds. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
insane.
good. Okay, so any overall questions you have?
Uh, no, but
Specific questions, anything?
I think I got most of them while we were doing things, but I learned a lot from it. There was a lot of how I should be putting my shield and just holding shield more because I swung way too much.
Controlling space is a term you need to learn.
Right.
And not the J in, ooh, space, but like actually using your position in your shield to force them out and not going too fast that it actually invites them in.
Right.
Because like Ryan shield literally only protects this pocket of space. Right?
Right.
So if you walk forward more than that pocket, then your teammates who were previously in that pocket are now in the exposed.
Right. I do that a lot.
And that's often why probably this diva, who one probably doesn't know how to play properly position in goats as diva, but then you make it really hard on her to learn.
Yeah, and RSN gets picked a lot in fights, I've noticed. It's probably my fault most of the time.
I would say no. With a 5-second mobility ability, like a really freaking good one, and then your own defense matrix, you shouldn't be dying that much.
Okay. Yeah, but thanks a lot. I learned a lot from this.
No problem, my guy. So, you good? No other real
Yeah,
questions?
I'm good.
Anything?
No, I feel great. I have a lot I can work on just going from here, so it feels great.
Some of these things that I talked about, like, apply all the way up until, like, 4K.
Yeah.
But as you learn them, you will look back on this VOD and see how I phrase some things, right? And you'll be able to take away new information from what I said.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I'm telling you now, there's things I said that you didn't catch on to because they're like a couple of steps ahead of you now. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think there's a lot I could learn just from going over the bot again.
Uh-huh. This is how, like,
Yeah.
improvement works in Overwatch, okay? You are here, okay?
Uh-huh.
You're like, I'm as good as I can be. I know everything. I'm the best. But I'm platinum. Okay. Then, let's say you're willing, and you learn new information, okay?
Uh-huh.
Then you're like, oh, I have this to work towards. I'm the best. Like, I know everything. You get to this point, you're like, oh, so good. But then there's always new information. New information, right? So, like...
Constantly improving.
So, it, like a... Let's say, Super, right? In Overwatch League. He has this information. And he tells you what to do to get to here. But the answer he gives you is so simple. But, like, a more complex answer gets you to here. And a more complex answer to that gets you from here to here. And so it's like the same thing, such as, like, playing the line like this. I told you, stay in no shield range.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that I gave you a pretty simple answer for, but it's like, it's what you need to get from here to here. But then once you're, like, here, you'll look at that again and be like, oh, that's a simple answer. But then one thing, when I went into the hammer swing, that's playing the line, but a lot more in depth. They take a step forward, you can play out here and get the hammer swing on. It's like Overwatch is in a constant state of adding these new blocks, these new informational blocks of how do we get better and better and better and better with these set plays and in-depth strats. And Overwatch League, for the first time, honestly, this season, was like really good at it. Because Season 1, everybody was just kind of learning how the Overwatch League works, building their teams, whatever. And then, like, Season 2 was the first season. Stage 1 was trash. Stage 2 with Shock and Vancouver Titans was the first stage where we really had, like, complexity in every single team fight. And then Stage 3 was, like, incredibly complex. Like, with Shanghai versus Shock, just because of the comps they were playing. Anyways, I need to end this. So, you good? No other questions?
No, yeah. No,
Okay.
just yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh yes, of course. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you would like to be coached, my Discord's in the bio. And if you have like any just Overwatch related questions, anything about the video or anything, you can join and ask. And also make sure you subscribe. Thank you and goodbye. Bye, Steelgrass.